What's up everybody, welcome to Money Management channel. My name is Andrei and today I'm gonna be doing an update on MMTLP and FINRA saga.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on.
And for today's video, guys, I have several quite important news. First of all, I will show you an update from Daniel Oxer in regards to his lawsuit. On top of that, guys, I will show you an update from Mark Basile, and I have to admit that for now, we are about to see a new lawsuit, and it is a class action lawsuit. And yes, guys, you heard me correct. It is a class action lawsuit, but we have quite interesting details of this lawsuit that potentially should not harm the MMTLP shareholders, and how it might happen I will explain within just several minutes. On top of that, guys, I will show you an update from Scott Roth, and I have to admit that today, or basically just yesterday, we had another deadline, and I will explain you all the details in regards to this deadline within again just several minutes. And before we dive deep into all of this, guys, please hit the like button for YouTube algorithm and drop me a line in the comment section if you think my videos are valuable for you. And let's start with this tweet that was written by your favorite SGM, by Daniel, just 10 hours ago. He wrote, "I always did like boarding that plane, ready for that next adventure, and here I am, yet again. The time has come. More help from the most unlikely of places. 1209. Here we go." And guys, it might be quite difficult to understand what is he talking about, but let me explain you this. I received the first amended complaint from Daniel, and I have to admit that for now, I think within a day or so, within a couple of days probably, you can find this document in the Edgar system, and you can read it if you have an access behind the paywall. You can read this document in its entirety by yourself, and you can make your own conclusion what chances does Daniel has if you have enough knowledge in this. But for now, guys, I don't want to dig deeper inside all the details because I made a couple of quite thoroughly made videos yesterday and the day before yesterday. But let me just read you this part. So, Sergeant Mayor Daniel R. Oxer as a plaintiff versus Securities and Exchange Commission, Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation, OTC Markets Group, GTS Securities, Concord Genuity, Equinity Trust Company, formerly American Stock Transfer and Trust Company, Charles Schwab, formerly TD Ameritrade, John Burda, NextBridge Hydrocarbons, and Gregory McCabe as defendants, compliant for violations of the federal securities laws. Jury trial demanded. And guys, in my opinion, this is quite important part of this entire lawsuit, because the jury trial might make their rulings in quite unexpected manner, and that is why, guys, I think we have a lot of chances to see a breakthrough because of this lawsuit. But on top of that, guys, I want to show you this tweet that was written by Mark Basile just 12 hours ago, and as usual he published this GIF. You probably saw it I think several times, and he wrote, "MMTLP, new filing in trade station case." And he explained this. MMTLP, just so everyone understands, we do not typically do class action lawsuits unless we have no other choice. The current events in our trade station suit left our client no choice. Seeking to convert it to a class action should take a case out of arbitration and put it back before the federal court because FINRA rules say they cannot arbitrate class actions. This language is also in the trade station customer agreement. See filing. What this means is if the court agrees, we are back before the federal judge and discovery will commence. The information being sought by MMTLP holders will then be in reach. Isn't that the point? And guys, I have to admit that as you can see, his main point is to make a discovery. And this discovery will lead to some conclusions and will lead to the disclosure of sensitive information that might help again in the upcoming actions. And guys, we have a lot of questions to Mark. Let me read you just several of them. So, Fire Investing app wrote this. During discovery, are you able to find where the shares were lent to? And what action can we take against brokerage, who the shares were lent to and never returned? And Mark responded, yes. He added, instead of listening to non-lawyers and speculating what the outcome would be without knowing any of the facts, they should consult an attorney and look at the real facts. And Vic D wrote, can I opt out of your class action suit if I'm in TradeStation? I just have no faith in the class action system and how people are paid out. My claims go deeper than just recovery of my shares. And guys, I have to say that one of the downsides of the class action lawsuit is that after the rulings, no one can sue the defendants for the same reasons. And definitely it can basically stop our investigation and our case in its entirety. But I will show you that it is not the case in Mark Basil's lawsuit. And so let me show you the response of Mark. All prospective members will have the right to opt out before the court sets a hearing to certify the class. That will be in a few months if we get the amended complaint filed. And guys, let me go to this tweet. First Class wrote that in our class action lawsuit, each and every member received only $9 each, and attorneys took home more than $100 million. It is a waste of time for shareholders. And Mark responded, then you are missing the entire point of the suit, and this only applies to TradeStation holders, not the MMTLP community at large. Do your research next time. And First Class wrote, how will they benefit? I think you're missing my point. They will get pennies. And Mark responded, and guys, I think it is very important to understand. The class would obviously be limited to holders at TS only. So it's not the same as having tens of thousands of shareholders like the NBH class action. And the damages here are statutory. The info that we will get through discovery will benefit all of the holders of MMTLP. Information nobody, including Congress, was able to get. If you are not a TS client, then it doesn't apply to you at all. And First Class wrote, I hope you get the info, but I won't hold my breath. And Mark responded, another minion poster, don't worry, the real Southern Oracle. This nonsense will stop soon. As to First Class, I hope we do get the information and it is useful to the MMTLP holders. And guys, let me show you another add-on from Mark. So, Carlton asked this, wouldn't a settlement set a precedence for holders across the board? And Mark responded, no, not at all. That's a talking point that was started to scare people into not doing anything. On top of that, guys, take a look right here. Doug McClurk wrote this. Guarantee a minimum $100 to $500 a share for the victims and that the lawyers will not take majority of their money from the settlement. Then, yes, to the class action. Discovery is pointless if all we get is pennies on the dollar of our shares while you rape us for all the profit. And Mark responded this. The problem is most class actions deal with tens of thousands of shareholders. That's why the payouts are so small. In our case, we are looking at no more than 75 to 100 holders. If the court sets damages at $1,500 a share, that would be paid out in the court with their actual holdings. Too much misinformation and Kool-Aid in MMTLP community. So guys, this means this class action lawsuit is quite unique. It is related to the TradeStation customers only. And let me quote you the next response. Laura Storm wrote, I have shares with TS that were forced to ST. How can I be included in this party? I am sick to death with all of this and pray for closure and discovery. And Mark responded, if the judge allows the filing of the amended complaint, we can talk, but we should take it to DM. There are people in this community already attempting to sabotage the case. So guys, I have to admit that this case might be quite important for the entire MMTLP community without preventing you to take the next step in this to this resolution, because usually, as I already mentioned, class action lawsuits make after the rulings, after the judge rulings, the defendants cannot be sued by the same reason. And guys, let me show you this tweet. I have to admit that in my comment section I see more and more questions about 2 days of position close only. 2 days of trading for position close only. For example, Pocahontas 16 hours ago wrote this: MMTLP, great idea. In observance of the 2-year anniversary of U3 halt, let's get FINRA fraud trending. FINRA defrauded 65,000 plus investors when they deprived us for our 2 days of trading as per their corporate action. MMTLP was U3 halted on December the 9th, and shareholders' assets remain frozen 2 years later. And guys, let me remind you that I showed you this several times, that back in the days we had 3 options. First option is 2 days of trading, and I have to admit that I think, in my personal opinion, it is not the most probable outcome. By the way, let me remind you that, if I remember it correct, Scott Roth has this claim in his lawsuit. And for now, and in a minute I will show you the deadline that was set on December the 6th, basically explained some of these details. Option number 2, NextBridge hydrocarbons short sellers settlement. In my opinion, it is the most probable outcome in this case, but we have to see the resolution, in my opinion, through the litigation process. And number 3, this one was also quite important part of the settlement, but with the losses of Orogrande Basin, with the losses of the assets of NextBridge hydrocarbons, the intrinsic value of NBH is basically close to 0. That is why, guys, for now we have pretty much the only path for the resolution is the NextBridge hydrocarbons short seller settlement. And all of the lawsuits, Mark Basil's lawsuit, Scott Roth's lawsuit, and Daniel Oxer lawsuit, all of these lawsuits are aiming to this settlement. And guys, believe me, with each and every next step, we have more and more information, and eventually we will get to this point. So let me show you this tweet that was written by Scott, and he published it on November the 8th. And I covered it in one of my previous videos, but let me pay your attention to this paragraph. The strategic issue right now for Schwab, FINRA, and to a lesser extent GTS is that the industrial shorters in the MMTLP fiasco and the broker-dealers like Schwab, who oversold by 3x, 4x, 5x or more, are facing the 2 days position close only writ of mandamus being filed on December the 6th, 2024 in US District Court, Vermont. And I have to admit that this date it was basically yesterday. December the 6th was yesterday. And let me remind you that on December the 5th, Scott wrote this couple of tweets, December the 4th and December the 5th. And again, I covered it in the video before my previous video. He asked the evidence that MMTLP shareholder emailed or snail-mailed any requests for MMTLP to restart trading after December the 9th of 2022 U3 halt. Anything filed as a complaint that requested trading to be started addressed to either FINRA or SEC. If anyone is familiar with all the letters sent by congressmen and senators to FINRA or the SEC, if any of those letters requested more than an investigation and did have language requesting a restart in trading, please DM me. There is a procedural issue in US District Court that is on the table in the next filing, and this closes the door on a few topics of interest. And the next tweet is following. Okay guys, thanks. I've got what I need from a few folks. Don't don't have to dig anymore. I have a request to restart trading on the SEC dated June 2023. We can roll out now. So, I think within the next couple of days we will see an update from this part of our saga, and we just have to wait, patiently, because if you don't perform any actions on the legal field, or you don't contact any of any Congress members, basically we cannot do anything on top of that. And guys, the last news but not least is this one. Don Fist 10 hours ago wrote this tweet: "I am coming." And 9 hours ago he was the host of the space call. Unfortunately, he didn't record it. That is why I don't know what was the main topic of this space call, but it is definitely related to MMTLP saga. So time will tell what will be the next step and what actions did Don Fist perform in order to push us to the resolution. And guys, let me tell you my personal story. I have a wife and 2 children aged 11 and 15, as well as a small dog. After 30 years of living in Russia near the Baikal Lake, we decided to move. Now we reside in Serbia. Although I don't own any MMTLP shares, I invest a lot of time creating daily MMTLP videos. I have been doing this every day without days off and holidays for more than 1.5 years. Now I wish to buy back this time from my family, from my children. We've agreed that I will ask the MMTLP community to support me, and I will give all the money to the children. Therefore, if you believe that I am providing useful content for you and wish to support me, you can join my Patreon account. For $5 a month, I will add your name to my list of supporters if you wish. Thank you in advance. The link you can find in the description below. So, I think that's all information that I want to provide you. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, and see you guys and girls next time. Bye!
I got the cash in the bag, stadium